All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into another market and trade review for today, the 11th of March. My apologies for not making a stocks we were watching video yesterday. Stayed up till about 2 a.m. Saturday watching the fights and went to bed early yesterday. But welcome in here if you're new. Hit that like and subscribe. We make one of these every day after the market closes, and a lot of videos on the weekends too, reviewing market conditions and strategies. We trade a paper account for educational purposes, and let's get into it. In the description of this video, there is a link for Webull, which is the software that I use, the brokerage that I use to trade. And if you go ahead and click that link, download Webull and install it. Deposit as little as $1. You can get up to $3,000 of free stock. So pretty cool. The paper account, today we had a big red day, and we were just getting chopped chopped around a bunch. Couple things I didn't take profit on. This Netflix trade that's down 44% now. This was up about 22%, didn't trim anything. Got chopped up on the SPY before we entered into the straddle at the close of the day. And then what else was up? JFrog went up on like this really wide spread at some point during the day. And it was up like 20%, but it was only for like 5 minutes and it was gone. I got an alert, and by the time I got in there, it was gone. And then hood as well. So everything choppy in anticipation of CPI, which is tomorrow, right? So the SPY, we're testing the 9 EMA. We'll use this kind of, if you're new here, we use the SPY as kind of a gauge for the entire market, because a lot of what we're trading is tech and hypergrowth stuff in the tech sectors. And the SPY, while still trading up near these new all-time highs, on the 5-minute, we traded up in after hours, even higher, but it was just choppy all day. Slow grind chop, right? And the trend is there for sure in between the 508 and the 511 range. Our supports and resistances work perfectly. Now we're up into this really tight range that we traded in for a long time. A few days ago, it was from 511 to 512, not even $1 range a few days ago. We're going to go ahead and get rid of this level. It's wider here. And we're up. So tomorrow CPI will come out at 8:30 Eastern time, an hour before the market opens. And that will be telling us essentially if we push new all-time highs tomorrow, or if we are going to go down and test the 500s, which is very possible tomorrow. So we put on a straddle of we closed at about 511, so we put a 512 510 straddle on, and we will see where it goes. Let's swap this. Anyways, that's what we're looking at for the SPY tomorrow. As far as the individual names look, we can swap over to the daily, kill the barcode, and QQQ is following suit. Apple, which yesterday or Friday to close, came up and tested the EMA, rejected off the big time today. If CPI is negative tomorrow, I want Apple to the 165 range down in here. I think it'll be a beautiful short. If we open up bearish, I think it's going to keep going. Microsoft also below the EMAs, but holding nicely in here in this level. If we take the EMAs off, let's see, hide those, then this is what we look like, and could just start to be a little bit of descending, like a tightening range here, descending triangle, a wedge right in there, descending wedge, like this maybe. Let's see. Like something like this. Apple, yeah, for Microsoft. That's not too pretty. Could tighten in here though and bounce off and go. We're gonna leave those ranges in there for now and put the EMAs back on. That's what we're looking at for Apple. Amazon, also the EMA tests. Facebook, big red day, but worked off the 21. Netflix, now Netflix, this is why we took this trade, right? So Netflix has been following this trend line for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trading sessions and wicking off of it. And today we got a close right at it, and it's also just about the 9 EMA on the daily time frame. On the weekly, it looks like this, right? So we'll see, and I am looking for a bounce off of this level. So on the 5-minute, on today's range. All right, we took that right in here based on this daily test up in here. And it's playing against us right now. Came down to 600, ups to 603 in after hours. But if Netflix gets to going, it can really go. And I mean, just to look at the daily chart, right, on these big day ranges, this is 600 to 619. That's a $20 range. 591 to 610, $20 range. So it's not out of the question for Netflix to be able to do that and keep going when it does it. So looking at that, Google. I really want to talk about Google. This is amazing. We've been talking about this trade for a minute, right, where it's following this trend here, bouncing off the 200 EMA, which we love. EMAs aren't gospel, estimated moving averages, but they do tell a lot of a story, and they're good for reversals. So we took this trade on this candle here, and at certain points today, we were up over 100%. We're up 82% right now on the close of the day because Google at the close, we get in the 5-minute, sold off a little bit, but then we're back up to where we were in after hours where we were trading. So looking for hopefully some continuation with CPI on that. Google's really strong, and I would love to see it continue to trade within this range here. On the weekly, it's even clearer, right? It's a great reversal, and we'd like to see that get above the EMAs and come up to, this will be in that range, so somewhere up in the 160s. We have 143s, right? NVIDIA with some weakness today for the first time since, oh no, Friday was weakness. I was on the weekly, my bad. I'm continuing with the weakness, but bouncing off of the 9 EMA. The question is, do we bounce here like we have in the past, or do we keep going? CPI is going to tell it all, right? On a name like NVIDIA, I think that the dip is going to get bought so hard. Same thing with AMD, which sold off. And so we'll see what happens there. Interesting today, moving down the list, Bitcoin, which came up and hit new all-time highs, but Coinbase, MicroStrategy, Mara, Riot, right, Robinhood, all, Mara especially, sold off towards the end of the day. And the question is, are people selling off because Coinbase hit new all-time highs today, right? Which it did. Or are people selling it off because they know a little bit more than we do about what's going to happen with Bitcoin? I don't know. There is no reason right now, looking at Bitcoin, for me to have any sort of bearish case or say the top is in. I don't believe that the halving for Bitcoin is priced in. I think we're going to see higher highs. I wouldn't be surprised if we get into the $83,000 to $85,000 range at the end of this week, the way that Bitcoin has been moving lately. So on the hourly, it just looks like another bull flag to consolidation for me. We're just playing above the 200 EMA, which has been a great resistance point. If we go back to the daily and we extend our fibs to here, this is our retracement down to 58, which would be a beautiful correction. I would like to see, right, though, up into, let me zoom out here. I would love to see this go to 83 and have the rejection be back into the 67, 65 range, maybe 80K for Bitcoin, which would put it, yep, 65. Yep. That's, I think, the most likely scenario. Anything can happen, though, trade accordingly, right? So we shall see what happens. I don't think the halving's priced in, though. Not even a little bit. See what happens. I'm trading a little bit of altcoins on the other screen here. I have this meme coin bonk pulled up, right? With like $100, you own 2 million, 3 million of them. So I've been flipping a little bit of meme coins on the side just for fun on the weekends, but nothing crazy, no 10x or no 100xers like that are out there. So that's really what we're looking at on the market overall. A lot of the smaller names, right, are struggling as the market chops. AI having a hard time. Robinhood we talked about, Mara we talked about. DraftKings just toying at this level here. It can't make up its mind, doesn't know what it wants to do. When it does go, and get above this, we could put in a head and shoulders there. We could put in an inverse. No, we can't put an inverse. Yeah, head and shoulders maybe. When we come down further from here, Could just put in one big flag and consolidate here for a while and then go, if you look at the weekly, right? Which looks like it was what it wants to do and what it has done, testing this trend. So we could, actually that looks more likely, like it's gonna come down and test this level down in here, right, that we've been doing. We'll find out. The Bitcoin ETFs, Nancy Pelosi's trade is struggling. Down here at these lows, 278. We will see what happens there. Her calls don't expire till 2025. So, you know, maybe load the boat here. Who knows if she does anything like she has in the past. Carvana, big red day today, which is a bummer because we were up at 90 on Friday. Maybe we'll get another wick off this EMA. We'll see. Again, CPI will tell the story tomorrow, right? So what is CPI? It's the Consumer Price Index, right? Basically, how is inflation doing? So depending on the numbers that are released tomorrow, then the market will react up or down in anticipation of how the economy will perform based on those inflation numbers until the next CPI report, which will be next month. So what we do is a straddle, right? Call and a put. The gains from the one that is the correct direction that the market moves will outweigh the loss from the other, and then we'll take profit on that. My favorite play right now is Google. If CPI comes in positive, I would love for this to just rocket. And we trimmed half of this Google position. There's only 5 contracts left that we have. So we're looking for a big up on that. And hopefully after CPI comes in to get a little bit of a trend tomorrow. And with that, trade a little bit cleaner setups. So appreciate everybody tuning in. If you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments. If you want to be in that group chat that we've got going with some of the swing trade callouts, shoot me a message and we'll get you in there. Remember, if your goals and dreams don't scare you, probably not big enough. See you guys tomorrow.